Hello, in this guide I'm going to be giving you a short rundown for the first dungeon you'll be running in Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, which is Sastasha. This dungeon is broken down into two sections, upper and lower. Upper is more bestial with black bats and fossil shells, just to name a couple. Just after the second fight that you encounter in the upper caves, you will find a mysterious memo which says something about a color. All I've seen is red, but I've heard there's blue and green, so just note what color as it will help you later on. Also during this trek, you will encounter a number of fights which include a giant clam. This clam is guarded by Shade Seekers. The tank just needs to grab the Shade Seekers while the DPS defeats the clam. Furthermore, the clam can only be hit while the shell is open. Simply focus your DPS on the clam, kill it, and then mop up the rest of the Seekers. I would have to say that it's worthwhile to explore around a bit and defeat all the encounters on this level, as there are several treasure chests hidden around the caves. Eventually, you will come to a part where you need the memo from earlier to bypass this trigger room. Basically, you just press the colored coral that matches the memo to reveal a switch, and by pressing the switch, reveals your first boss, Chopper. This first boss is a real simple fight. The only things of note to mention are his additional health pool, and all you really have to do is avoid the ground targeted attack which appears in the big red circle that you'll see on the ground. Other than that, it's a straightforward DPS tank and spank fight. Once you bypass Chopper, you'll find yourselves in a series of developed caves in which you will start running into pirates, and very shortly, your second boss. Your next boss is Captain Madison, and he has a group of ads with him, a couple guys. This next fight is also very straightforward, as it's also your first boss fight with additional ads. After you do enough damage, Captain Madison will run away and leave you a treasure chest to occupy yourselves with. This fight, you just want to burn through the ads as fast as you can, and then do the appropriate amount of damage necessary to make Captain Madison run away. I would like to mention that in this part of the caves, the tank should be careful with making the pulls because one of the pirates, the Shadow Scale Reavers I believe, had the ability to heal. You don't want more than one group pulled at a time. If you do get more than one, you will need to split them up if you can't out DPS their healing. As you progress further through these caves, you will start coming across locked doors in which keys are required. The keys can sometimes be seen lying on the ground or dropped after defeating some of the pirates. This is another one of those areas I would suggest doing some exploring because of the treasure chest, which can occasionally contain extra loot. At this point you will come across Captain Madison again. He has another two guys with him, and this fight is exactly the same as before, save for one thing. During this fight, when you get Madison to around half health, he will summon a pack of scurvy dogs. So you want to be sure to get rid of the other two ads before doing damage to Captain Madison. Other than this fight is exactly the same and you shouldn't have any problems defeating him. And once again, after a certain amount of damage, he will run off and leave a treasure chest for you to loot. At this point, you just have a few more pulls to do and just a little bit further to go until you reach the last boss, then the Orca Tooth. This is Dan the Orca Tooth, and the fight is easy and difficult. It's the first actual real boss fight that you have. This is how the fight works. You will get a notice that bubbles are starting to form around at the 4 grates in the corner of the room, basically where it says unnatural ripples. Activating these grates will cause the bubbles to cease. If you fail to activate the grate, then a mob will spawn. So you'll get up to 4 mobs. This means you'll want to position your group in such a way as to have coverage over all 4 of the grates. This is where it gets tricky. The tank cannot activate a grate while being hit, so you have 2 scenarios really. But you can go with the third, which we did, and have the healer just heal through the ads, if your tank and healer are comfortable with their roles. Now, as far as your other 2 options, one is that you can try to have 1 DPS sprint between 2 of the grates while the healer and the other DPS gets the other 2. Or you can just take 3 and have 1 ad spawn. And the tank focuses solely on tanking Den. The other is that you have the tank place Den in the middle of the room and then try to put enough distance between himself and Den to activate one of the bubbles, or one of the grates. I would suggest going with whatever option is most comfortable for your group composition, which normally would be getting 3 of the greats and just letting one ad spawn. It is really basically up to you, so, go with whatever's easiest. I would like to take this time to thank you for watching my video, and please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below, and let me know what you think.